This episode is going to be different. I have stumbled across what I consider to be the greatest advice ever given. If you followed me over the past couple of months, well, thank you. And you understand that I am all about this personal growth. I'm all about being self sufficient, being self reliant, just trusting in yourself and who you are and who you want to become in the world. So I have been aligning myself with people of integrity, people with good moral character, thought leaders, just trying to soak up as much information as I can from people that have done it, from people that have been successful. And this week, I have stumbled across what I consider to be the greatest advice ever. If you followed the podcast so far, from what I have been saying, you understand that we all have to show up in our lives and we all individually make the collectives of the world. And if we take responsibility for who we are, we have a chance to at least affect someone's life, at least change our lives so the people around us can benefit from them. And recently this week, actually, someone asked me a question as to how I manage my week or my day. And I was telling them about this technique that I do about segmenting tasks I have to complete throughout the week and setting my intentions as to what I want to accomplish. And everything I feel is going to fall on the wayside, such as me exercising every time in the morning. I just try to outsource that. Now, I know people will be like, how can you outsource exercising? Well, so I joined a 6 weeks challenge. The intention behind it is not to lose weight, it's just to actually keep my metabolism going and to get my mental state correct. Because if I don't exercise, I get foggy in the mind. So what I did was I just joined like a 6 week challenge. But for everything else that I constantly have to manage myself, I tried to do I tried to break them up into segments, and I was explaining to her and I was telling her, I do the segments and I try to say this is what I want to achieve and this is what I want to do. And she's like, "You know what? Have you heard about Abraham Hicks?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't heard about him." Now, I am the only person in this lifetime to not hear about Abraham Hicks. It's the book Law of Attraction. And in that book, they talk about segmentation as well. And I got my segmentation technique from the internet. They could have gotten it from the book. So I downloaded the book and I started to listen to it. And they're talking about intentional segmentation, I believe it is that they're talking about. The intention behind that is when you decide, okay, I'm getting into my car and I'm going to work, your intention should be strictly to just get in your car and go to work. And in that book, while I was listening to it, the greatest advice, I believe, for me came up. And the Abraham was telling people how to actually manifest things into their lives and the techniques that you are actually doing wrong. I'll put a link to the book down below. It's called The Law of Attraction. I know many people have listened to it or read it. But for those of you that haven't, I'll put a link down below. You could buy it. I think it's on Amazon. And the greatest advice is to actually take your mind off of what is not working and place it onto something that's working. So, for example, I want to have a job, but I don't know where to begin. So she said that people are actually focusing on what is not working rather than taking their mind off of the want that they want to achieve. So in this case, they want the job, but they're focusing on the fact that they don't have the job. And that struck me because, there's so many things that we all want to achieve in life, but we are stuck in the, oh, it's not going to work because I don't have this. Oh, it's not. So rather than focus on what we want to work, we're focusing on what we don't want to work. And I think that's the greatest advice ever. The chapter that actually struck me was chapter 5, because it was all about the segmentation intention, which is something I already did. And they went into details as to how you could divide everything you do in during your daytime into segments so you can actually accomplish them. And the intention for me is to do it for actually 30 days. So to divide my days into segments for 30 days using Abraham Hicks and their own technique and see how it works for me. This is what we do in life. Like, what I do in my personal life is I try to set all these challenges and all these goals for me to be able to achieve, because if you don't set goals, then you're just wandering through life aimlessly. And if you are struggling with how to accomplish things, it's good to just do segmentation and outsource. The greatest advice ever, just to recap, is that you should take your mind off of what is not working and put your energy into what you want to achieve in your life. Comment down below. Let me know what the greatest advice you received, what you think the greatest advice you received is. And I hope that the greatest advice that I have today has actually helped you. So thank you guys again for joining me every week. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below what the best advice you have received so far. And I'll see you next week. Bye.